Hey everybody, I want to tell you about this app called Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast and it's free. They have so many creation tools so that you can record and you can edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast to so many platforms. And you don't need a minimum listenership to start making some money with the sponsorship. So go download Anchor right now, because I know you got some special stuff to talk about. Period. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Black Queer Witch podcast. And that's on period. What's this here, y'all? What y'all been up to? What you been doing? How you been feeling? I'm just diving in, checking on you, checking on your mental health. What's going on, girl? What's going on, man? What's going on, people? Let me know. Well, today's episode is going to be about deities. So I think I'm going to make this into like a series. Lately, I've been working a lot more with my deities, with my goddesses. I have 3 goddesses. And I've been working more with them, and I just kind of want to share my experience with them. I also wanted to share some tips so that you can dive deeper in with your deities if you have one. So yeah, this first episode is basically I'm just gonna talk about my deities. I'm not gonna really talk about how I work with them yet. I'm gonna give them each their own episode. But I am going to share some tips and tricks that I've learned to connect with my deities, okay? So, I have 3 goddesses that I currently worship, currently pray to. I worship the goddess Auset, that's her true name. Most people know her by her Greek name, which is Isis. Then I worship Salmak. And then I worship Hathor. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. They're all Egyptian goddesses, for those people who didn't know that, but yeah, they're all Egyptian goddesses. It's crazy because I actually started, I think in a way I was more connected to Auset in the beginning. Even when I was a kid, I've always loved ancient Egypt. From a kid, like I don't know what it is about ancient Egypt, but I always loved ancient Egypt. So when I first was doing research about ancient Egypt as a child, one of the goddesses that always stuck out to me was Isis. I'm just gonna say Isis, okay? Isis was the goddess who always stuck out to me. I always had some type of energy connection with her or whatever, that I found that was very interesting. And then when I finally took on the term witch, after being when I took on the term witch and I decided that I believe in a God, but my God wasn't a man or whatever, it was a woman. I had dived deeper with Isis. I had made that connection again. And through that connection, I had made a connection with Hathor and Salmak. Salmak first and then Hathor. So I just felt like those 3 goddesses represent me in a way. I love Isis because she's very cunning, very merciful, very compassionate. She does whatever it takes to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of my personality too. I do whatever it takes to get the job done. She's very adaptable. She's very cunning and very smart and wise. And then when it comes to Salmak, I always saw myself as Salmak because, yes, I'm a lover. But I'm also a fighter. When it comes to protecting my family and protecting my friends, I'm always down, okay? One thing about me, all my friends gotta say is get them, and I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting bitches in jars. I'm pulling up at bitches' houses to beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of energy that I bring, and that's the type of energy that Salmak has too. And then Salmak had a deep connection with her too because I'm a healer. And I believe in healing hands, and also I also believe in herbal magic and the herbal way of life, similar to like how the natives think. You know, when it comes to the plant life, they believe that all plant life is sacred, and then that you can heal any disease or whatever with the things that's already here. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel that connection with her through that. I had recently did a hex with Salmek, which I'm gonna talk about when I get to her episode. But I recently did a hex with her, and it was an experience, and I'm gonna have to tell you guys about that. And then Hathor, I feel this connection with Hathor, this sense of happiness and this sense of love. I connected with Hathor more on a sexual level than her other aspects. She's like a goddess of love, a goddess of sex, a goddess of happiness and stuff, which I'm gonna dive in deeper in her episode as well. But I have felt that connection with her through sexuality and learning more about my sexuality and learning more about my body type thing. So yeah, that's my little rundown on my goddesses and my deities and my connection that I felt with them. So let's dive into some tips about connecting with your deities on a more deeper level. The first tip I have for you is to take it slow. Do not rush nothing. Don't go and start trying to create an altar space for this deity. Take things slow. You know what I'm saying? You should do some research on them. You know, maybe you feel like you got this connection, but when you do more deeper research on them, you don't see an aspect of yourself within them. You know what I'm saying? So like do some fact checking, learn the history of the culture that the people used to worship this deity in, learn about those people, learn about their history, learn about some stories, learn about some places that may be still available that were once dedicated to this deity. Stuff like that. See how this deity has transformed within history and within society. For example, like Mother Isis, she has transformed. Most people see her now as like not Mary Magdalene, but as Mary, the mother of Jesus. And they see horse transforming into Jesus in a way. You know what I'm saying? All of them have like similar roles to each other when it comes to, I guess, that aspect of them transforming into history. A lot of pictures depicting Mary holding Jesus or Mary, Jesus suckling Mary, are the same images that Isis and Horus used to have, the same kind of statues that Isis and Horus had in the ancient Egyptian culture. And then another thing that I've been learning, get like some visuals of this goddess or this god, like get on Pinterest, get on Google and try to get like a vibe with like how you see them, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you can pick on different, like the goddesses and gods have multiple roles, so there may be just a certain role that you may want to dive into, or that you I guess want to work with. I guess like for me, when I work with Salmek, I have like a Pinterest board for Salmek, and a lot of my pictures is in that is like either Salmek doing like some wicked magic, or it's Salmek in rage. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see Salmek, and that's how I connect with her, through her mystical powers and through her rage. You see what I'm saying? And then you want to kind of ask for an interaction. If you really want to interact with this deity, ask for that interaction. Pray to them, and ask for it. And my thing is, be yourself when you're doing your praying. Don't be trying to be super formal. If that's not something that you would normally, how you normally would speak. Like when I speak to Hathor, I kind of speak in a formal way when I address her, and then when I do address her and I start to pray, I speak normally. Like when I talk to Hathor or whatever, I always be like, Goddess Hathor, Goddess of love, Mistress of life, Daughter of Ra, the Eye of Ra. I'm praying to you, da 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 da, something along that line, and then I say my prayer. But like I said, it's different for everybody. So the way I speak, it's going to be totally different from the way you speak. But once you start praying, ask for the interaction, ask for signs, ask for them to come to you. Come to you. Ask them to come to you through music. Say you worshiping a music god. Ask them to come to you through music. Say you're worshiping a moon goddess. Ask her to come to you at night so that you can get those signs. And you got to be open for the connection as well. I need to throw that in there. You need to be open to the connection. You need to be open to receiving signs, because a lot of these deities don't necessarily speak to you directly. They don't necessarily speak to you through your dreams. They speak to you through little things that happen in your life, little things that you may come across. So that's something to also think about when you're working with your deities too. Be yourself, but also be respectful. And once you get that response, if you feel like you're ready to create a space, create that space for them. Create that altar for them to come and receive your offerings, to receive your prayers and stuff like that. Currently, I don't have an altar for Salmek or Hathor. I just have an altar for Isis. That's the only goddess I have an altar to at this current moment, because I started off with her and I feel that connection where I can have an altar for her. I give my offerings and I let it be. I don't make a big ceremony out of it. I light my candle, I light my incense, I give her water, give her wine, whatever I have on hand. I give my offering. Most of the time when I give offerings for my deity, I give her dry fruit, but she likes other things too, but I just give her dry fruit. And I leave it there at the altar. The ancient Egyptians used to believe in consuming your offering after a while so that things don't go to waste. And I think, that comes from the fact that they lived in mostly a vast desert, so everything needed to be used. But for some deities, that may not be the case, and that's why the research is so important, so that you know what kind of things that they may like, what works for them, and if you're able to consume it or not. Sometimes you're supposed to throw it away. Sometimes you're supposed to give it back to the environment. It all depends. It all depends on that deity. So it's always great to do that research before you create that space. Okay. And the last thing I want to touch on, hold on, y'all. I'm looking at my notes. I just want to make sure I cover everything. The last thing I want to cover on is also kind of talking to other people that may worship the same deity that you do. Get in connection with those people. You're not going to necessarily have the same experiences, of course, because everybody sees things differently through the lens of their consciousness. But it's always good to connect with other people who have similar like minds to you, who probably can help you on your journey, who can give you more information that you can't necessarily get on the internet, because some guys and goddesses, their tales have been lost in history. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to connect with other people when it comes to spiritual work. Definitely. And that's it. Those are my little tips and my little tricks that I've learned. Those are my little tips and tricks for deity work. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure how many episodes I'm gonna make this. But we're gonna figure it out as we go along. So I might have a guest speaker for one of these, if I can get a hold of them and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. But I'm about to sign off. I'm about to get up out of here. Good morning, because it's morning time when I did this or whatever. So I'm about to start my day and get things going. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Hey guys, hey lovelies, hey witches, hey sisters, hey brothers, hey people, and everybody else in between. What's the tea? I'm here with an announcement, period. So I wanted to announce, like I said, people have been really reaching out to me, and I love the feedback. I love it. I love the feedback. I love the conversations that I'm having with you amazing witches. I have been asked about different ways that people can help donate or help with the money situation when it comes to the podcast. And I just want to say thank you. My Cash App is $theblackqueerwitch. You can donate to my Cash App. Everything that you donate will go towards my business and the podcast, and I just appreciate your donations. Even if it's just 50 cents, $1, I appreciate it. Like, I really do. Even in these tough times, I know a lot of us are really tight on money, and I really do appreciate the donations that will come through, and I appreciate the love, for real. And my second announcement is this. I started a Facebook group. Yes! You can reach out to me at the Facebook group. Please join. I would love to hear from you guys. I want to spread as much knowledge as possible. I want everybody to come in and ask questions. And just create this sense of community, create this coven that I know some of us don't necessarily have because of where we live or because we're not out of the broom closet yet. But you can join the group, you can join the group at the Black Queer Witch Coven. I'm on Facebook. There is a link in my link tree to the Facebook group. Please join. I would love to hear from you guys. I just would love to see you. When you join, please give us like a little introduction of who you are. What's your craft? How long you been practicing? Stuff like that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this announcement. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.